a turnout. This is amazing. I am so humbled, and we are so thrilled that you would come today to help us kick off Epicenter, which is our community center for entrepreneurship and for innovation. Give yourselves a round of applause, everybody that came out today. This is a special place for a lot of reasons, and you're going to hear from some leaders today, some folks who really helped make this happen, and who, in fact, this wouldn't have happened without their leadership. But I just want to talk a little bit about the philosophy of Epicenter, what we're doing. Gary Opendal did a wonderful job. Gary, you and your team, great vision on this, great energy, a lot of midnights and a lot of putting things together. So thanks, Gary, and everybody at Economic Development. You're going to hear about Cinco Amigos, but Kelly Cooper is really someone from the Albuquerque Community Foundation who did a lot of the sweat work on this. In fact, someone tells me she had something to do with the video. Could have been a little kinder with the hairline. That's all I can. Other than that, though, Kelly, great job. You really took this project and you really drove it home. So thank you so much. A couple of months ago, where we stood was a wonderful place that did wonderful things for the homeless. And the Noonday Ministries folks, when the University of New Mexico purchased First Baptist, have a brand new facility doing the same great work a little bit north of here. And when they moved out, we saw an opportunity, and it's an interesting take on what the building was doing 4 months ago and what it's doing today. And in my mind, it's the same thing. We're going to help our brothers and our sisters and our neighbors prosper here. We're going to help people who want to do better here. And we're going to show people that when government and the private sector, when local, federal, state, philanthropic folks in our community, business people, banks, you name it, get together, we can do great things. I want to say something. Bob Frank couldn't be here today with trying to get everybody scheduled. He had something that he just couldn't get here today. And that's a shame because we wouldn't be here without Bob Frank. So I want to give Bob Frank an enormous round of applause. President Frank took us to Gainesville, Florida a couple of years ago and introduced us to Innovation Square. And that's not exactly what Epicenter is, but it's certainly at the heart of that. And so the University of New Mexico and their team, Lisa Kudla and everyone has done a great job. And what you're going to see here, this is the first exciting thing to happen at Innovate ABQ. But with the team of planners that are in place and with the private sector partnerships that you're going to see over the years, this really is going to be the heart of our innovation district. It's an unprecedented partnership between, as I said, the public, private, philanthropic sectors. It's going to be a gathering space. As you can see, it's going to be an educational space, an entrepreneur place for entrepreneurs to be, and it's just going to be a place for us to lift each other up. I want to thank the generous support of Cinco Amigos. We're going to have a couple of folks talk to you here in just a few minutes. Thank you for what you're doing. The Albuquerque Community Foundation, CenturyLink, City of Albuquerque, Dale Decker and his group are here from Decker Parish Sabatini, the Improve Group, and others who donated their time and their equipment. It's been cleaned, it's been renovated, furnished, and decorated. A lot of this took place just with people coming over on the weekends and evenings and just picking up a paintbrush. So it's a really grassroots movement to make this state-of-the-art space that we have with high-speed internet access and a soon-to-be operational, we hope, commercial kitchen, and I'll tell you about that in a second. So Central New Mexico Community College has signed a letter of intent with the city to place a culinary maker space here as well. So we're not unveiling that today, but we're going to start working on that so we can have food truck vendors and others. And so you can see there's just going to be lots and lots of great things happening in here. The first event will be Digigirls and Digidudes. A couple of years ago, I got together with Microsoft and said, why don't you come home? Why don't you come back to Albuquerque and do some really interesting things? And they did. And so last year we had the first DigiCamps here. And at the end of DigiCamps, I asked, and Cinco Amigos helped us get the surfaces bought for that as well. And I asked the folks at Microsoft, I said, what did you think of our young ladies and our young men? And they said, well, as normal, the young ladies were better. And but they said, we really, Mayor, haven't seen a sharper group of kids anywhere we've been in the country. So we talk about Albuquerque a lot, and we talk about what we all know we have, which is just a wonderful, beautiful, great place full of innovative people. We do more science per capita than almost anywhere in the world. We have $1 billion arts economy. We have an entrepreneur ecosystem that is burgeoning, and we're helping that grow through our efforts. But we have a lot to be proud of. And so there's going to be a lot of things here. So there'll be students from Garfield and Hayes Middle School that will be here to do the next DigiCamp. And if you get a chance, and I don't know how we can do this, but if you get a chance to come by the DigiCamp, you should, because it will inspire you. And we're getting these kids to go home and inspire their parents. And so much of what we need to do as a community is to get 2 generations involved. And so many times we talk about mom and dad figuring out something and then explaining it to the kid. This is going to be all about the kids figuring it out, which they already have, and explaining it to us, and helping us to thrive and prosper as well. So the funding for what you see today, this is about $255,000 worth of stuff that you see in here today. Cinco Amigos raised $150,000 to furnish and install the technology here. Gary Opedal and his folks scraped and scrapped together about $100,000 to help out. $10,000 from the Improved Group that donated countless amount of volunteer hours also for painting, decorating, making the awards and other accents around the space. CenturyLink donated the bandwidth for the center, thank you so much. ATEC Security donated the security system worth $2,500. International Protective Services has donated free armed services in the area worth about $2,500. So altogether, our community just came together and got it done. And what's really exciting for me, as I said earlier, is when you say that we're from the government and we're going to do something agile, that doesn't usually go together. But when you get the private sector and all these leaders involved, it really does. Ken Mitchell's here today. Where's Ken? Ken's right here. He's from the city of Albuquerque, from our Department of Municipal Development. They got in here and just busted their butts to get this place cleaned out. And so, Ken, thank you and your team for everything you did. UNM and STC, thank you so much. The driving force behind a lot of this, Lisa Kudla and her group, thank you for everything that you're doing. New Santa Credit Union, Terry's going to speak in a minute. Not only did Terry and his group put together $3 million to go along with the $2 million from the city, the $1 million from the county, the $1.5 million from the federal government, from EDA and others to help buy this entire 7-acre site. He's really come through on this again. Debbie Johnson, I know, is here from CNM. I don't know if Kathy, Dr. Winograd's here today, or she could make it or not. But CNM, Decker Parish, Sabatini, all of our sponsors, Business Environments, Furnishings, Signplex banners and signs, Positive Energy Solar for the plants, Bob's Painting for the wall lettering that you see, ATEC Security, as I said, Sun State Equipment brought scissor lifts in and everything to help us out, Sands Outdoor Services for the parking lot and landscape cleanup, Convention Services of the Southwest for the partitions of the stage, A Perfect Night DJ Services, thank you so much, West Wind for the Twitter feed wall and everything else. And then the tech toys are here today. That you can see are from the Intel Maker project. The robotic arm is here. Explore Media. The Domine is the 3D scanning large cinematographic drone that's here. And IDM touch table HP Sprouts. Anyway, we got a lot of folks that want to say a few things today, and they deserve to say a few things. But I just want to tell everybody here, I'm so proud that we can do something like this. And this is going to be a place, as I said, that's just going to be wonderful. And it's temporary. So everything you see here, when it comes time that this building may have to go with a big master plan that UNM has for this, well, it may have to go. But all the parts and pieces, we've designed them to be able to take with us. But forever, we should have a Center for Entrepreneurial Excellence right here. And that's what this is all about, the Center for Entrepreneurial Excellence, where we can invite our friends from Los Alamos and Santa Fe to come down on the train. We can invite our friends from Valencia County to come up on the train. The new bus rapid transit line that's going to run from east to west will bring our friends and neighbors in from all over. We've got the 2 interstates. We are really at the epicenter. And there's great work being done in Arrowhead. There's great work being done in New Mexico State. There's great work being done in New Mexico Tech at UNM, Lanel, Sandia, AFRL. So we're going to rock and roll, and we're going to do it here. And with that, I'm going to bring up a couple of other speakers, but I just want to thank each of you for coming today. So thank you very much. Kevin and Steve, come on up, would you? So 2 of the Cinco Amigos, and I want to name the Cinco Amigos because there's 5 of them. Steve Maestas, Mark Gorman's here today. Mark, wave your hand around if you would. Jason Harrington is here from JB. Kevin Yearout, of course. Jerry Rail is Jerry here today? Traveling today. And of course, so Steve, Mark, Jason, Kevin, and Jerry. Two of the Cinco Amigos are here. Kevin, you're out, and Steve, my asked us to share a few words. Guys.
Thank you. On behalf of the Albuquerque Community Foundation, our board of directors, our staff, and most importantly, our donors, I can't tell you how excited we are to be involved in this event and in this building and in this spark for this area. About a year and a half ago, the Albuquerque Community Foundation opened up a sixth field of interest in workforce development and economic development. And we have put a lot of money out there already, but this is by far the biggest amount we've put out. And when I look out across the crowd here, I don't see a bunch of citizens, I don't see a bunch of people, I see a bunch of potential donors for us at the Community Foundation, because this is exactly what we want to do with our money and our donors' money for workforce development and for economic development. This is about collaboration, it is about space building and place building, it is about creating an environment that we as a community, the Community Foundation, we as a community can pick ourselves up and be what we should be as Albuquerque and as New Mexico. I have to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I believe one thing. If we are going to sit back and wait for government to help us create a community and an economy in the state, we will be here forever. We have to do it as individuals, we have to do it as small groups, and we have to do it as a community and pull ourselves out of this. So I encourage you to get involved at every opportunity. Ask us what we're doing at the Community Foundation. Let us know what needs to be done. But we are here to be part of the economic development and the workforce development of Albuquerque.
You know, it's said that any enterprise that fails to innovate will age, it'll become irrelevant, and eventually it will be eliminated. And as you're thinking about what Kevin mentioned, let me share a couple of statistics with you. Since the end of the recession, the United States has invested over 26% more dollars in technology and equipment. And at that same time, we have spent no additional dollars in labor. As a percentage of GDP, corporate profits in America are at a 50-year high. And as a percentage of GDP, the spend on labor is at a 50-year low. Now, why is that? Why is there such a delta between what business and corporate America is spending on equipment and technology and on labor? Well, some would argue that it has to do with cheap capital, and certainly that's part of it. But the fundamental reason there's such a gap is because of innovation, because of technology. You see, today we are innovating our way out of the traditional ways that we've conducted business. And that's why today is so important. That's why this mission to innovate Albuquerque is so critical. If a community is going to be successful, the number one thing its leaders must do is innovate and change, and they must do it quickly. And that's where we're at today. That's why today is so important. And frankly, for philanthropy to be effective, we can't be dealing with the symptoms anymore. We've got to deal with the causes. We've got to get in front of the issues that we are facing as a community. So together we are making a great stride today. But the thing that's most exciting to me, the thing that, Mayor, you touched on, you know, as a citizen, I am inspired to see government, education, philanthropy, and business all working together for the good of this community. And if we can continue to do that, great things will continue in Albuquerque. So let me turn it back over to you, Mayor.
I think Steve could actually jump from here. All right. Jason, come on up, would you, man? I'm going to have Jason Harrington come up and talk a little bit. He's a Cinco Amigo, but he's also one of Albuquerque's great construction companies and contractors, is always doing something great for the community. Jason, would you share a few words with us?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. You know, first of all, I just want to express how honored the Cinco Amigos are to be a part of this. This is a great example of how you can get public and private entities to work together and improve the communities that we live in. And we truly believe that that's going to be the model that moves Albuquerque forward. This project started for us about a year ago, and we reached out to Mayor Barry and Robin Brulé, and we asked them to come to one of our meetings. And we asked them to bring us ideas where we could partner together and we could really create something remarkable. And this idea came up right away, and we latched onto it right away. We thought it was incredible. Because as business owners, anytime you can incorporate philanthropy, especially if it involves kids, with workforce development and economic development, well, that's something that's real easy for us to get behind. So we love the collaborative energy that the city had. We love the idea. The only thing now was to execute the idea. So what we did to execute the idea is we used our annual car show, the Concours du Soleil. And on the Friday evening of our car show weekend, we were graciously hosted by Alberto and Julie Gutierrez. We invited a small group of people to come. And what we did is we pitched the idea. We wanted to gauge their interest. And the response was remarkable. So what we did is we took that energy to our Saturday night event. And that's our main event, our big gala. And we did a crowdfunding. And as always, the Albuquerque community came up huge and made this happen. So on behalf of the Cinco Amigos, I want to thank Mayor Barry, and I want to thank Robin Brulé. Could you raise your hand, Robin? So, I want to thank you guys for your collaboration and your energy, but more than anything, I want to thank the donors that made this reality. Can you please help me thank the donors?
Jason, thanks. While we're on the subject of Robin Brulé, you know, Robin is leading my efforts for Living Cities. The Bloomberg Foundation just came to us with another $1.2 million grant. We are bringing a lot of resources, and Robin, you and your team are doing that. So this is why we have some opportunities way beyond, even, you know, this is a place. We want to do great things in this place. You're going to see a lot more announcements of great things happening here as well. Senator, would you join us? We have our senior senator from the state of New Mexico with us today, Tom Udall. Let's give him a big round of applause. Senator and I just met in my office, and we're talking about lots of different things. And one of the big projects that Senator is helping us lead the way on is our bus rapid transit. And we think the ART line, Albuquerque Rapid Transit BRT, that's going to run right by here, go from Tramway all the way to 98th Street, is going to be a big, big catalyst for the city. And as our senior senator, he's really leading our congressional delegation in that effort. I want to thank you for that. And of course, we wouldn't be here today without the help of EDA from the federal side with their $1.5 million to help purchase the site. So Senator, thank you for being here.
Mayor, thank you so much. And we had a terrific meeting, and we really want to see that BRT go forward, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. But you know, the mayor commented on the YouTube video and said they weren't kind on his hairline. Well, I was glad I wasn't in the video with them commenting on my hair. But Mayor, what I always tell people if they start getting into hair is you only have so much testosterone. You don't want to waste it on growing hair. This has been a great group here, and Mayor, you've covered all of the people. The Cinco Amigos have come up and talked about the interactions here, but I just once again want to thank Mayor Barry, the University of New Mexico, Bob Frank, everyone here who has worked so hard to make this happen. This is a tremendously exciting event, and I'm just honored to be here. And I think today is really about partnerships. It's about everybody working together to make our state and to make Albuquerque a better place. And so I'm just thrilled to see that we and the federal government could be a partner in this, Mayor. I mean, this former Baptist church right over here, this brick building, I worked with my colleagues in Washington. We always defend the EDA, and we always defend their ability to give out those grants and to have the money to participate with communities. And so I'm just very, very proud of the $1.5 million grant that was given here to help create the Innovate Albuquerque campus. Innovate Albuquerque is a great model. It's a model of public-private partnership, supporting new entrepreneurs, moving Albuquerque forward, and I'll do all I can. I'll find every way that I can to help Mayor work with you and move this city forward. One of the big areas where we have a chance and what's going to happen in here is technology transfer. New Mexico has a growing high-tech economy. Innovate Albuquerque is part of that. We have some of the best scientists, some of the best researchers in the world. We have these great national laboratories that were talked about earlier. We have great entrepreneurs, and tech transfer is that opportunity to make it all happen. And I was so proud last year when we had a piece of legislation move through. I took one of the bills that I was pushing the Department of Energy to really move forward. John, you know very well about this. We inserted it in a bill, we got it done, and now Secretary Moniz has a top-notch office working to make sure the Department of Energy and the national laboratories move forward with tech transfer. So we have the momentum, we have to build on it. And today is a great step forward, I think, for Albuquerque and for our state, but we still have a lot of work to do. We face challenges to continue Albuquerque's revitalization, to invest in infrastructure. The Lieutenant Governor's here. I hope he gets out that package, Mayor, delivers all those projects to you down here. He tells me there's going to be a special session. He could talk about that. Oh, yeah, okay. We want it, Lieutenant Governor. We want to get that going. But anyway, my final note, and I met with the mayor earlier today. We spent about a half an hour over at City Hall, and we talked about the BRT. And this is a very exciting project. The idea of taking one end of Central and going all the way to the other end, which is, as you know, just behind us, making sure, as the mayor told me, that we don't have this big dip down here, which turns into a moat whenever there's a rainstorm, and we're going to correct that and make that thing work a lot better. So Mayor, you can count on me when it comes to the Tiger Grant, and I was with his staff. He's got a great staff. The thing about being a good mayor is having a great staff. Same thing's true in terms of a senator, but they've done all the preparation to get a Tiger Grant, and I'm going to do everything I can to move that along. So thank you. It's great to be with you, and please, Cinco Amigos and all that are involved in this, Dale, you let us know the additional things we can do to keep making this a great success. Thank you. Take care.
Senator, thank you. We appreciate you being here today. You said big dip downtown. I thought you were talking about me for a minute. I didn't know what. There are people that would say that. Listen, Lieutenant Governor, would you come up, please? John Sanchez is with us today, and let's give him a round of applause. We have, there's a board of directors that UNM put together for Innovate ABQ to make lots of decisions about how this entire 7 acres comes together. Governor Sanchez is on that board of directors with us. We appreciate it. When it comes to the special session, Senator Gary Opedal and our team worked in the capital outlay bill that we're very hopeful that our friends and the legislature can come together and get some agreement on with the administration and pass. There's another $1 million for this site in that particular bill. So it's important for the city of Albuquerque that that gets done. We wrote a letter a week or so ago, got together with Mayor Hull in Rio Rancho, and we had 91 mayors from New Mexico sign on to that bill, just basically encouraging this to get done. But it takes leadership to do that, and we've got great leaders in Santa Fe. And with that, I'm going to have Lieutenant Governor give us a few words.
Thank you, Richard. What a pleasure it is to be here today. And let me just say on behalf of the state of New Mexico and the governor that we are squarely behind this effort. Make no mistake about it. The mayor mentioned how him and I both serve on Innovate ABQ board, and that's important because when the governor called me and said, would you be willing to serve on it, we jumped on the opportunity to serve on the board of directors for Innovate ABQ. Why? Because it's that type of vision led by the mayor and the private sector, UNM and others who are really pushing to do something different. You know, New Mexico is an amazing place to live, but I think we all agree that there needs to be a spirit of entrepreneurship that needs to be fostered. Every time I see this building, Mr. Mayor, it reminds me that this location used to feed the homeless, right? Today, it's a facility that will feed the entrepreneurial spirit of our community and our state, and that's important. And when you think about governments coming together, whether it be the local, state, federal, by the way, Senator Udall, let Susanna know that you have approved this special session, okay? But it goes to show you that government, when it's unshackled by differences and partisan issues, when it comes together for the benefit of its citizens, we put aside all those. And I'm really proud to be serving as a member of this board and part of this effort that is going out to make not only Albuquerque, but the entire state realize its absolute full potential. So these partnerships are important. I want everybody here to know that I personally, and I know that I have the support of the governor, we are squarely, like I said earlier, behind the efforts here. It will be when New Mexico and Albuquerque simply shoots for the stars, dreams big, and make sure that we provide every asset to our community that will allow our state to not only compete, but I really believe, folks, that lead the country when it comes to developing the type of workforce, what kind of businesses are created here, and realize that's absolute full potential that we all know as New Mexicans we have. So again, I want to thank everybody involved, the 5 amigos. I thought initially it was the 3 amigos, but I'm glad it was the 5. Thank you for the cooperation from both the private, the public sector that is working together to really lay down a foundation for the future, for the jobs of tomorrow, and giving our children every opportunity to stay right here in New Mexico. They don't have to leave our state to find opportunity, right? We should be exporting our goods and services and products. We should not be exporting our best and our brightest, and that is our kids. So again, thank you for your support. Let's go get them. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Lieutenant Governor, thank you so much. Terry, come on up, man. I mentioned Terry Laudick, who's the president of, I was going to make a joke here, but I'm not going to do that. Just saying. We wouldn't be here without Terry Laudick today as well. I talked about Bob Frank earlier. When Bob brought this vision forward and we decided to ask our city councilors to help us get $2 million, that wasn't enough. EDA's $1.5 million wasn't enough. You know, $2 million from the city, $1 million from the county, $1.5 million. We were getting close. We needed somebody from the private sector to step up in a big way. Terry Laudick did that with the credit union. And so he's here on behalf of that effort. But he's also the president of the board of directors for Innovate ABQ. Terry.
Thank you, Mayor. And not to slight the event, but a special thank you for, we've had numerous events where I've had to follow the mayor, and this is the first time they've ever provided a lectern where it didn't look like a talking forehead when I came up, so thank you. And that wasn't a slight the size of the forehead either. I'm trying to be as polite as it can be, it's just slipping out. I'm nervous. No. Truly, this is an exciting day for Innovate ABQ and our partner, the city, and the Epicenter. It's amazing that, again, the Lieutenant Governor is on the board, the mayor's on the board, we have a couple other in the crowd. And we were just convened as a board in February. Now, I've lived here 22 years, and I have to tell you, I'm a little surprised at how much we've got done in just 3 months. Isn't that all? No, that's the truth. We're still convening and trying to get to know each other, set the framework, the governance, and the direction, but we have a vision, and we know where we're going, and we're firmly behind that, and it's great that we are seeing the public sector and the private sector together in collaboration. It really is probably more enlightening to believe that less than 30 months ago was when Dr. Frank convened the Rainforest Economic Development Forum, and 3 months later took us to Gainesville and showed us what was going on out there. So I can tell you that that's a pretty amazing progress for such a community to come together in a new form. and I'm quite pleased to be a part of that. I'm even more pleased now that the Cinco Amigos have stepped forward, and others who have made the donations are beginning to show their support from the private sector with financial support and being engaged. I can tell you that I met with Senator Udall in his office prior to the actual closing on this property, and he asked me at that time, he said, so Terry, explain to me how and why your credit union could step up and give $3 million. And the explanation is, we have 150,000 members who cooperate. We're a cooperative, we're not for profit. We have had tremendous success in this community and many communities in New Mexico. Our way to return that success is usually to dividend back to the members, and many of you in this audience are members. The opportunity was give $20 back to each member, which meant $20 might help to pay for rent, food, clothes, might go towards a night out. Most of it would stay in their savings account. But to have a true, sustainable economic impact, which is one of our 7 cooperative principles, here was an opportunity to join in a public-private partnership and take a leadership position. And I am so pleased and happy to have the others who are now stepping forward to seeing what this future really holds for here in Albuquerque. And this is a momentous day because this is really the first physical activity to take place on the 7-acre site that all these funds that came together to purchase, to ignite. We've just on 1 week ago, we issued our formal RFP for a developer. We hope to have a developer selected by August. This is moving along fast. And I can tell you the only thing is, there are those out here in our community who are still a little skeptical. And I can tell you that I've heard the comments from many. And the one comment that always has bothered me the most is, good luck with your project. Well, on behalf of the Innovate ABQ board, I'm going to say, don't stand back and watch us go. Join us, engage, and let's go. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Kathy, you want to come up? Thank you so much. Kathy Uleberry is the Vice President of Finance and Operations at C&M. And C&M, if there is an unsung hero of this entire innovation movement, it may be Kathy and C&M, and it's my fault. You weren't expecting me to say this. Everything I've asked for as a mayor of C&M, they've done. I said, man, can't you come downtown with what turned out to be the stimulus center? And can't you help us teach our kids to code? Can't you help us with maker spaces and things? And every single time, man, Kathy and Debbie Johnson and their crew have come through with this. This site on Epicenter will be no different than that. So I just, it's hard sometimes when there's so many great partners. I just feel like C&M hasn't gotten the credit they deserve, and you deserve it, so thank you for your participation here today, and let's hear what you have to say from C&M's viewpoint.
Good afternoon. This is exciting, huh? We're really happy to be here with you to celebrate today, and I do want to thank you, Mayor Barry, City of Albuquerque, Gary, UNM, Innovate Albuquerque, and all the different partners, Senator Udall, the EDA, for really getting this exciting venture going. And thank you for inviting C&M to be a part of it. We're very grateful to be involved, and we're looking forward to all the efforts to champion entrepreneurship in our community. So I want to tell you a little bit about what C&M will be doing here. Mayor Barry mentioned the development of a commercial kitchen in this building. We're really excited about being able to participate in that kitchen. In fact, we will be using that kitchen to further our food truck partnership with the Street Foods Institute. That partnership has really been successful in helping us add some significant momentum to the street food industry in this community. At Epicenter, we'll offer some mobile food courses here at the Epicenter, and we'll use that kitchen to provide support to food trucks and food carts and their entrepreneurs here in Albuquerque. Then for those entrepreneurs focused on catering, we'll also use the commercial kitchen to support their expertise, development, and design to help them grow their businesses. So you all know there's a common denominator in cities that have a vibrant entrepreneurial vibe, and that's a vibrant food scene. And so we're really excited to be at the heart of helping that happen and to do that in partnership with our friends here at Epicenter. So thanks again, and we're happy to be here.
Thank you. Amy, come on up, Amy. Amy Woolard is from the Office of the President. She's Chief of Staff. And as I said earlier, I'm just sick that Bob couldn't be here today. He's a busy guy. It's end of semester. We, working between staffs, trying to get everybody here. It didn't work out today, but we're going to get some words from Amy on behalf of President Frank, who's just been a real. He's at the point of the spear on this thing. So, Amy, would you say a few words on behalf of the President?
Yeah, I don't say this often, but at this moment, I wish I were Bob Frank. He deserves to be here and bask in the moment, to just pause and see how far we've come from a dream he had months after he arrived. He got this program underway, and I think he was actually a little dumbfounded to realize that people responded to him, that he developed this partnership with the mayor, with Terry Laudick, with so many of you in this room to carry forward a dream for the university and for this community. Unfortunately, right now he's taping the State of the University address, and so he's got a big crew there and really couldn't change that. But I know one of the centerpieces of that address is his pride in Innovate ABQ and all that it means for the future of our university and our community. I'm sure you've all had the experience of being part of a team where there were many members of that team whom you didn't know before. So the excitement of making new friends, of accomplishing more than you thought you could ever accomplish on your own, and also of increasing your dreams to a sphere that's so much greater than you could have imagined by yourself. And that's exactly the atmosphere in which the university has put itself. We are part of something much greater than even a great university could have imagined. So again, we thank all of our partners here. And I think for me, the moment that really galvanized the importance of what we're doing here is when the president said, you know, our responsibility is not just to foster great research or to give our students a wonderful education. Our responsibility is to ensure that they have enriching jobs and exciting lives right here after they leave the university. And that's a tall order, but we're doing it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Amy, thank you. When President Frank and I were meeting early on in this process, we wanted to bring the entrepreneurial spirit to the equation. And I think you can see everybody has done this today. And we were talking and joking about it, but it's true. When Terry mentioned that at the beginning, people were, not necessarily everybody's on board, not necessarily everybody's as excited as you are. We just told people, look, this is going to be spectacular. It'll either be a spectacular success or a spectacular failure, but it's going to be spectacular. And I think that is the entrepreneurial spirit that we want to bring to this. And by the looks of your turnout today and your energy, it's a spectacular success to this point. Got to keep pushing and know we're going to have a lot more of these on this site, and Bob Frank's going to be right there because it's his to do. So anyway, give Bob our best. I want to bring Dale Decker up. He's our last speaker. Congratulations. You stand in between everybody and the cookies and punch. But Dale's been just a great innovator in our community for a long time. He had a lot to do with this space, helping visioning this space, him and his team. Of course, Decker Parrish Sabatini designed the convention center. If you haven't been to the renovated convention center, you need to get down there. It's awesome. But Dale's always on the front edge of trying to get everybody to think and be that piece of sand in the oyster to try to make that pearl. He's done it for a long time. So with that, Dale Decker.
Thank you. I think everybody's pretty much said it all. But the one word I haven't heard, which we heard, I think, for the first time as a community back in September of 2012, was the word ecosystem. Building an ecosystem that fosters entrepreneurship and innovation. And I look here, we're all part of that ecosystem. We defined it. It's our responsibility now to make it healthy, to make it vibrant, to do the kinds of things that's really going to change our economy, that's going to reposition us in a global economy. Think of the opportunities and the people that will be sitting in these chairs and what they present for the future of our community. And it just makes me proud to be part of our city, because we have a great city, we have great people, we have great opportunity. And thank you very much. We're all part of that ecosystem. Let's dig in, let's make this happen. Let's call this day our day in the world. Thank you very much.
Dale, thank you. I see Commissioner Ron Talbert came today. Commissioner, thank you so much to the county and your participation in this. And I know as this whole project starts going through, you've got a lot to say, a lot to contribute. I know you're working on your MOU with the university right now, so thank you. So let's wrap this up, and let me just say on a final note, this is your place. This belongs to the citizens of Albuquerque. This is a community center for entrepreneurship, a community center for prosperity, a community center for innovation. If you have an idea, there's lots and lots of smart people in this room today, and a lot of energetic people. If you have an idea of something you want to do here, whether it's with your school, with your community, with your business, you name it, this is your space. 365, 24/7, this building's going to be sitting here, so there's lots of time to do lots of different things. We have people in our community now working on curriculum that can kind of dovetail into the Microsoft curriculum so that we can make this sustainable year after year after year. And so let's just keep it going, and we just appreciate you being patient with us today as we share some of our excitement about the Epicenter. And to everybody involved, thank you so much, and let's get it going. See ya.